We're racing in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Side by side into one, and the inside line, not the preferred line here at this racetrack.
Look at Newman on the outside.
3 wide. Gonna go to third.
It's really aggressive.
He wasn't worried about the slick track, was he? He was ready to go.
He was trying to take advantage of some guys that were maybe being a little too cautious, and he did.
3 wide through 3 and 4. Little wobble there out of Eric Almirola in the 10 car. He catches it but slows down the traffic behind him. Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Ryan Newman, 1, 2, and 3. Kevin Harvick running 4th. Ryan Blaney up in the top 5.
We're going to talk about this all day, Rick, but right here after the starts and restarts, that's the driver's opportunity. That's the best chance to make moves and gain position while the field is bunched up, as we see the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. trying to defend.
Yeah, Martin Truex Jr. has been going backwards. Just did not get a good start, was stuck on the bottom. 21 got by him, 14 got by him, now he's trying to fight his way back up.
At this racetrack, you see the speeds. 205 miles an hour for Martin Truex Jr., over 212 miles an hour as he enters turn number 1. Remember, a jet airliner takes off at 170 miles an hour. They're going 40 miles an hour faster than a jet airliner when he takes off.
You know, Harvick told me earlier the groove's not going to move up, it's going to move down.
Spin coming out of turn 4, and it looks as though Eric Jones is going to be able to keep it going the right direction, but he does get it into the grass. Kelly.
Well, and I can tell you Eric has not been happy with his race car at all right now. He's saying it's just such a handful. He said it was plowing so bad, not enough track bar to do anything about it. And then he said he had a massive vibration so bad he couldn't see anything. And he said, I just think it's the hard tires on this track surface. Right now, Eric just saying he doesn't know what to do with the race car. It's just so tight.
Back under green in Michigan.
24 was just giving a lap back there. I think he didn't quite make the red light at the end of Pit Road.
I'm noticing something here, guys, on these restarts. They're getting more and more aggressive with each one. We're seeing a lot of shoving by that second row. That's really going to get more exciting as the race goes on.
And the bottom lane on the first row is taking the lead the last 2 restarts. That's something we just did not expect.
We're going to take a look at Ryan Blaney here in 3rd place. I was watching him in practice yesterday. His last run in practice was incredible. Had great speed. It was a short run, so I didn't know how long he would hold on to that speed, but it's showing well today. Up in 3rd place. He's matching the leaders on a 37.97 to a 95 and a 91 in front of him. So he's got some speed. This is a guy that, we had high hopes for him coming into this year with this change over to the Penske team from Wood Brothers. Expecting that performance and the finishes and all that to kind of take a step up, and it's really not shown that. He's kind of been lost in the conversation because of the big 3 and all the other things going on this season. Marty.
And Junior's showing some long run speed, as you mentioned right now at the end of this run. Top 5 fastest pretty much every lap for Ryan Blaney. Steve, an interesting conversation between he and Jeremy Bullins just a moment ago. Blaney said the car too free on entry, too tight on exit. Bullins said, well, what do you want me to work on? He said, work on the free entry. He said, if you can get me better there, I can help the exit myself. So it helps you when a driver has that mature feedback, right, as a crew chief, to be able to say, here's what we need to pinpoint and work on that entry.
Well, mature feedback, and I'm impressed Jeremy Bullins asked that question. He didn't try to take the responsibility of fixing both. He was honest with himself, honest with the engineers, and pushed back on his driver and said, buddy, you're going to have to pick, because I can't fix both of them. It's always great when your driver can pick with confidence.
Hey, when we used to race together, we used to talk about that, and I could tell you, like, if I'm loose, I'm going to narrow up the entry. I'm going to drive in a little too shallow. If you can fix that, I can arc the entry bigger and help the middle of the corner.
Well, no help needed for Kevin Harvick. He's going to grab his 11th stage win of 2018. Nobody can match that. And another playoff point for Kevin Harvick, which he continues to dominate there as well. 34th playoff point for Kevin Harvick. Kyle Busch, his closest competitor right now as far as racing for those 15 extra playoff points at the end of the season for the regular season championship. But right now, Kevin Harvick, the upper hand at Michigan. Martin Truex Jr. decides to go way down onto the apron to see if he can grab a couple spots. 3 wide into 1. Jimmy Johnson's going to make the outside line work for him. He'll hold on to the lead as they go down the back stretch, and now teammates racing for second. Martin Truex Jr. again looking out the passenger side. That's for the 11th spot.
Oh, that's tight.
A little bit hairy there.
Jumping that hole before somebody feels it behind the 10 car. So frustrating when you can't clear a guy and you jump up on the straightaway and you know they're going to go by you. Hope nobody else is going to go by you. Feel that hole. Look at Kyle Busch on the inside here trying to get by Jimmy.
Here comes for the lead, Kyle Busch.
What will Denny Hamlin do here? What choice will he have?
He's going to make it 3 wide. 3 wide for the lead, and the 18 squirts out in front.
Hamlin's in a tough position. See his car move? See his car bobble? He went in so shallow. Look out.
Bowman, big slide.
Alex Bowman, did he keep it off the wall out of turn 4?
I think so.
5th caution of the day at Michigan International Speedway for a 31 car. Ryan Newman spinning.
This is why the caution came out.
Yeah, got in the wall. Contact with that right rear, knocked the quarter panel in on that right rear tire, and then it eventually cut the tire. And when it did it took the rear brake line with it as also, so he's got some work to do to get back on the racetrack.
Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, the guys who have won the most races this year, have also led the most laps here at Michigan. Martin Truex Jr. trying to add to his laps led number, and Kevin Harvick wanting to stop him from adding, but he still can't get by him. He's had great runs, and we thought maybe a lap car would affect Martin Truex Jr.'s lap, but it hasn't. Martin Truex Jr. has been able to stay out front. But Steve, as you mentioned, you can't forget about the fact that he can't get all the way to the end of the stage on fuel.
Well, and this is what they're battling for, those playoff points. I believe the 78 will have to come to pit road. Then Kevin Harvick's going to try to win this stage. There's a playoff point available that'll bring his total up to 35. Remember, those points can be carried through each round of the playoffs, Kelly.
Well, I can tell you it doesn't sound like the plan is to bring the 78 to pit road. He has been saving. In fact, Cole Pern just told Martin Truex Jr., you're going to have to save even more aggressively, even if that means letting the 4 go by you and then pushing him from behind. But he's been saving fuel since this restart, hoping they can stretch it to the stage end.
There went Kevin Harvick right on by, and he'll take the lead at Michigan once again.
Well, you just heard Kelly report the 78's low on fuel. That, to me, guys, looked like a driver that maybe wants a draft. Maybe he let the 4 go and say, you know what, I'm going to try to stretch it. To do that, I'm going to get a little drafting help. We'll see what he does with the 18 and Kyle Busch. Oh, looks like he's going to let the 18 to the inside and let him clear him off the corner exit. Maybe the 78's going to try to stretch his fuel tank. It's going to be impressive. Talk about fuel economy. This will be great fuel economy out of this 78.
They do this. They engineer this and understand exactly what kind of throttle position he needs to save as much fuel as he needs to save. So he knows how much he has to ride around on half throttle down the straightaway to try to save as much as they can.
So you see how much he slowed down here, Rick. So look, let's be clear. The gamble was that they were going to get some more yellows and be able to run hard and keep the lead. They didn't get those yellows, so now it's just trying to mitigate the issue.
He's running out. You hear it running out now.
Yep, there you go. Pit road is closed.
Oh, my God.
Gas on the back stretch.
That's just...
And if pit road's going to be closed, it's going to be another penalty.
Coming to you.
So he's out of gas completely. So he's going to lose multiple laps here. He's going to lose at least 1 lap if you pit normal with how much time he's losing as he coasts. You see it picks up a little gas.
We'll do 4 tires here. The 4.
With this penalty, why would he come to pit road, though? He had fuel. At least, could he get back around one more time?
He obviously doesn't feel like he can. That pickup usually only has about 1 lap's worth of fuel, so now we see the 78 stop in his box.
So this will be a penalty as there's the final lap for this stage, and Kevin Harvick still out in front, easily in front of Kyle Busch. He's going to get the stage win. So sweeping stage 1 and stage 2. And as Kyle Busch finishes second, it'll be stage points, but he doesn't get the playoff point that Kevin Harvick got, another one. So now those two have 35 playoff points. I want to go back to Daniel Suarez, though. Daniel Suarez comes before the end of the stage. He's obviously not going to come back to pit road. Potentially could get, actually he's not going to get the free pass because Matt DiBenedetto is going to get that. But Daniel Suarez is going to be able to stay out on the racetrack for 40-plus laps. He has to win this race. He's got to do something different because he wasn't running up front.
I'm fired up, Rick. This racing is great. They said it wasn't a wreck. I think it was a wreck that just didn't wreck.
It looked like a wreck, but nobody brought out the caution. And once again, doing a little side drafting, Kurt Busch, the same thing that Almirola had done to him, and he takes a position back.
Look how close this is right here. 22 on the very, very bottom. Real tight, not a lot of side force on his car. Chases the back big time.
This is close. And sometimes, like, Joey didn't necessarily want to be on the bottom 3 wide, but Keselowski checked up, and they just find themselves there. It just happens in a split second.
You can see Larson right on the edge of control around the top of that corner.
Martin Truex Jr.
Turn down the hill.
Was scored as the highest scored lap down car when the caution came out. More than likely, he will get the free pass. Ty Dillon, the flames rolling underneath the 13. I'm sure they will be telling him to get out of that car. He'll drop the window net and climb out as quickly as he can.
Let's take a look at the replay, see what happened on the back straightaway, I believe is when it started.
You see the hood up a little bit there.
See the white car on the bottom of the racetrack. That's Ty. Oh, he ran over something.
What the heck?
Yeah, he ran over something, and then I don't know if it knocked an oil line out of it, Steve. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like oil smoke because it's coming out of both front tires. And right there, the right front tire looks up.
Oh,
wow.
This is huge.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
The domination of Kevin Harvick. Already 6 wins on the 2018 season. A lot of talk already about, can you get to 10 wins in a season? They're talking about with Kyle Busch or Martin Truex Jr. or Kevin Harvick. Can you get there? Yeah. And the possibility exists that Kevin Harvick could get there before the playoffs even start. He's that good. He has been that good here. 2 laps to go for Harvick.
Well, we heard from multiple pit reports throughout the weekend how Michigan was going to be the measuring stick. What did Marty say at the beginning of the race? He mentioned that Joe Gibbs Racing all bought brand new race cars, that they felt this was the last time in the regular season for you to evaluate your equipment. Well, if you're that organization and you're going back.
What did he say?
I thought he said he had a flat.
He did say. That's what I thought he said.
The 3.
That
the
was
3
a
cars
3
got a
off
flat
to
tire.
Dillon.
Oh, it's a different radio. You had me scared to death. I thought it was the 4, but I was getting ready to say, think about that. It's going to hurt Joe Gibbs to think that the 4 is beating him this easily.
1 lap to go.
Austin's going to try to make this finish here.
Now he's in 3rd. Keselowski's moved up to 2nd.
Yep. Austin's going to try to finish it off. He's going to have to be real careful with flat tire at these kind of speeds. He's slowed way down, but he's still going 170 miles an hour. So going to have to nurse it home and see if he can make it.
Kevin Harvick hasn't had to do anything half speed today. He has been dominant. He's led 108 laps from Michigan. He'll win again in the Irish Hills.
Hell of a job, man. Hell of a job.
Austin Dillon makes it to the finish line in 4th.
Top 5. Ryan Blaney finishes 5th. Almirola, another top 10 finish for that organization. Hamlin started on the pole, finishing in 8th. Chase Elliott wins a week ago, finishes another top 10.
Got to go to the wind tunnel.
And you just heard Rodney Childers say that car's got to go to the wind tunnel.
Okay, Keelan's smart because we are covered in beer down here. He's the safe man in the car. Every playoff point matters, but when you do what you did today, knowing Truex had some trouble, Kyle Busch was right on your heels, what does that mean for what you guys are trying to accomplish as we go into the playoffs?
Well, the most important thing is winning races right now and getting all the points that you can get to position yourself well to try to get to Homestead, and that's what we've been trying to do all year is win races. And I told Marty that before the race. That was our only goal. We don't want to learn anything. We don't want to do anything different. We want to go out and we want to win.